Stay out of the
Stay out. I will live in the rose bush.
Folks, welcome to Werewolf Radar, the world's premier paranormal preparedness podcast. My name is Jordan Dahl.
I am Nate Golden.
I am Roger the Norquist.
And today's episode of Werewolf Radar is brought to you by the Monstroco Bar. Creamy nougat, caramel, and redacted, enrobed in delicious dark chocolate. Do not eat if allergic to redacted. Monstroco Bar by Monstroco. Whose teeth are these?
I like these type of bars, but I'm allergic to a few things, and there's no way to know what.
No way to know. And the problem is, like, you can't ask them. You can't ask
because
them.
it's been redacted, and I have to go through government forms and then wait.
If you ask them, you will disappear. You'll get black bagged, and we'll just never see you again.
I do like the crunchiness of teeth, though.
Yeah, teeth are quite good, and it may or may not be.
You can eat your own.
Yeah, when you're out in the wilderness, you can just crunch on your own teeth. Or when you're at the supermarket, buy this Monstroco bar.
Yeah, I like the idea of a chocolate robe. That sounds like a very sensual thing that I've never seen.
I can't believe it. I can't believe I blew it on the enrobed. I heard, I saw these cookies at the grocery store recently that said they were enrobed in fudge. And I was like, oh, fucking yeah, they are.
Well, the thing about it is, and I'm going to leave this part in, but I'm going to edit it to where you say it perfectly.
My man. I also like the idea of them being enrobed, because then that means I get to disrobe them.
It is something I constantly read in horror fiction as well. The shadows enrobing or enshrouded. Jesus Christ, phone, shut the fuck up. Sorry, my phone's been spooking me as of late. How about you guys?
You've been enrobed in rings.
I'm doing okay with it.
It's a fun verb that really encompasses, like, ever encompassing whatever you want. And in this case, dark
shit that gets encompassed. Yeah, I get it. So what do we got for him this week? Is somebody ready with the spookiness?
I need to prepare mine. I wasn't quite ready because I was thinking about Monstroco bars, but I of course am continuing my. I will not. I'm gonna eventually maybe wrap up the episode, let's say, with my Bigfoot book that I purchased.
Oh, a Bigfoot.
A Bigfoot,
I believe they call them.
I've got a thing that I think
jaunty little Bipson
pretty much covered before, but I'm gonna skip around on it.
Rehash.
It might be a little bit of a rehash.
Hash it, dog.
This is from
my body is ready.
SavageContent.com.
Damn.
The spooky history behind cursed songs.
SavCon. Oh, sweet. I've looked for something like this before, but I've never really found any info. So this is incredible.
Yeah, well, and it's kind of, I don't know. We'll get into it. Okay. So there's the Curse of the Crossroads, aka Robert Johnson.
Sure.
There's always been a spooky lore behind Robert Johnson beyond just this song. It's been said that Johnson struck a deal with the devil at a crossroads in order to become the king of the Delta blues. The story of the legend goes that Robert Johnson was terrible at guitar. I guarantee he was not.
Yeah.
But he wanted to be an awesome blues guitarist so badly.
Yeah.
There's a mixture of stories of why he went to the crossroads. The legend says he went there and was greeted by a tall man, supposedly the devil, who took his guitar, tuned it, played a few riffs, and returned the guitar back to Johnson.
Okay. Now this checks out because becoming sick at the guitar is one of the main services that the devil offers.
Also, guitar tuning. I think a lot of people don't know how to tune a guitar, and then the devil's all like,
Here you go, kid.
I've
I downloaded this app on your phone.
I don't know why I made him sound like a Wolfman. That was clearly a Wolfman accent.
I just made it open tuning. Fucking play whatever. This is fine.
Yeah, have fun with that, kid. Don't touch the knobs up there, okay? It's perfect for you.
Oh, but I love the knobs.
The knob's my favorite part of the guitar.
Knob's my favorite part of the guitar. Oh boy, we got a lot to go through.
I'm playing the knobs. I actually have played the knobs in a noise rock position.
What the fuck does that mean?
Well, you strum stuff and fuck around with it.
All right, okay. All right. Noise rock, Mamma Mia.
It's been said that this exchange is how he sold his soul to the devil, giving him the ability to become an incredible guitarist.
Of course.
Acquiring this talent seemingly overnight had many surmising that he must have set out at the crossroads, met the devil, and made a deal.
Oh.
It seems like songs like Curse of the Crossroads, along with Me and the Devil Blues, have contributed to the myth of Johnson's pact with Lucifer.
A little on the nose.
including the part about the dark angel coming to collect his debt. His song Curse of the Crossroads was written just 2 years before his death and touches on some ideas of meeting up with the devil. Although Johnson had never verified any of the rumors regarding his rise to fame, because it would have been insane to be like, well, I wasn't famous before I met the devil.
Yeah.
But then I did. And everything.
If not Robert Johnson, what is a song that clearly somebody sold their soul for?
I guess Devil Goes Down to Georgia.
Well, yes.
I got a tasty lick for you. Hand me that fiddle.
I believe that's totally autobiographical as well, along with Vomitron's Castlevania. It is just one of the craziest metal songs I've ever heard.
What if it was like something like Hot Cross Buns? and like every song that comes along, the devil is just like,
it's pretty cool, but it's no hot cross buns.
Gets on a piano, just goes
hot cursed buns.
Yeah.
I call this one chopsticks. Ding 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 ding. You like that? More where that came from.
Anyways,
happy birthday.
And that's when the devil gets charged for using
oh no,
a song.
Man, I used to tell a joke about that, and I tried to tell it recently.
The
Turns out it was not funny. Nobody laughed, even a little.
Well, the following people also didn't laugh at things that happened after they covered the song.
Yeah.
Because they were cursed.
Yeah.
Here's a couple of examples. Eric Clapton played a version of the tune with Cream.
Oh.
His 2-year-old, of course, fell out of a window.
Oh, wow.
Leonard Skinner covered the song and was involved in a tragic airplane crash.
They all fell out of a window.
Eric Clapton's window, as they were all screaming racist things.
Same window.
Skinner guitarist Alan Collins, who I guess did not die in the plane crash.
No, some of them survived. Some of them just did a sweet jump, basically.
He suffered a car crash in 1986 that killed his girlfriend.
Oh, buddy. Yeah.
Now, is that a worse curse?
I mean, it's not.
Watching everyone you love die versus you dying.
The Allman Brothers, who performed the tune throughout their career. Dwayne Allman died in a motorcycle accident in 1971.
Mm-hmm.
A little over a year later, near the same spot, band member Barry Oakley also perished in another bike accident.
Dang, dude.
That seems more like that Dead Man's Corner versus the song.
Like a bad spot to go motorcycling.
Yeah, because the Allman Brothers just immune to curses, just performing shit all the time.
Allman Brothers had a fucking run of it.
Yeah, well, and then Robert Johnson, of course, himself died at 27,
Mhm.
which is sort of like a famous musician curse.
Yeah, he drove a motorcycle out of a window.
Exactly.
Eric Clapton's window.
This is bordering on fucked up.
Anyway, now we move on to the Ninth Symphony. The concept of a Ninth Symphony, especially Beethoven's, is at least familiar to music lovers. Why don't you often hear about a 10th Symphony? Well, that's because most composers don't live to complete it.
No.
For nearly 200 years now, a curse has plagued composers. The legend says that soon after completing his or her Ninth Symphony, a musician is doomed to die.
Oh.
It all began with Beethoven's untimely death.
Now, couldn't you do like the hotel thing and just skip straight to 10?
That's what I was thinking.
That's what you should do, apparently, if you're a composer.
Feels like a good move. If
Do you start
hotels
with
are getting away with it?
He was working on his 10th symphony in 1827 when he passed away. The curse has also claimed dozens of classical musicians, including Anton Bruckner, Vaughan Williams, and Antonin Dvorak. Yet there's one big explanation for why this happens. It can take decades to write 9 symphonies.
Yeah.
So it only makes sense.
Crank them out in a weekend. Like they sucked shit, but you were just like,
dude, exactly.
23 symphonies. My first 23 suck ass, but you know what? I'm gonna move on.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Shakespeare sonatas, like sonnets. I mean, they're not great at first, but he gets it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the strange aspect of this curse, or supposed curse, is that there's a number of composers who were unable to write their 10th symphony before dying quite young. Some of those early deaths include Gustav Mahler, who died at 50, which is not quite young. He definitely probably could have written 10.
That's super young.
And Schubert, who died of typhoid at 31.
Oh, that's his fault for licking the typhoid boy.
Yeah.
Pole.
Stay out of the typhoid boy.
Both died directly after writing their 9th symphony. It does go on to say there's a little thing about like Philip Glass has written a bunch of fucking shit, and he's never dead.
Or maybe he is.
Ooh, you think possible. Undead, vampire, vampire?
Mm-hmm. Some sort.
I'm gonna go Google that.
Some sort of music ghoul. Keith Richardsian music ghoul.
We also have definitely talked about this, but I do think it's worth bringing up again because I don't remember when we did. It might have just been in person. But the My Way curse. This is a song that's taboo to sing at karaoke in the Philippines.
Oh,
dude, they care so much about karaoke in Asia.
Yeah.
That's where Journey found their lead singer, not in the Philippines, maybe the Philippines, but at a karaoke bar.
No, that guy was Brazilian.
I think he was Filipino, right?
Dude, I'm pretty sure he was Indonesian.
Okay.
Indonesian.
We'll have to look this up. They've had a couple of different
if you are
new singers.
The lead singer of Journey, tell us where you're from in the comments.
Yeah, we know you listen.
The idea of it being cursed began once killings began surrounding the song. Between 2002 and 2012, numerous people were killed for singing this song at karaoke, or commonly called videoke in the Philippines.
Oh, that's fun.
At least 6 killings and countless fights have been reported. It has become such a phenomenon that there's a designated category for this type of crime in the country.
Huh.
Why have it on the list?
Well, I mean, you're just poking the bear, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Nominal
comes with the program.
determination is a term that I heard recently, which means that you live up to the name. I wonder if this is kind of similar. Something, you call a kid Mad Dog for all of high school. Eventually, he has to prove it.
Right.
Maybe if you're like, hey, we get a lot of karaoke crimes. People who go to karaoke are like, well, let's pull the pin.
Explanations for these incidents vary. Some believe it's because the song is simply frequently sung among the nation's karaoke bars where violence is common. So it's all about timing.
Common.
Apparently, yeah, karaoke bars.
Dude, I've heard stories.
Get into a gang battle.
People getting stabbed for singing the song wrong.
Wow.
Like just insane shit, dude. It's like soccer. But for people like me who don't enjoy watching soccer anymore, because it's a relatively boring sport.
Others wonder if it's because of the perceived aggressive lyrics of the song. Attention to these killings peaked on May 29th of 2007 when a 29-year-old karaoke singer was shot dead by a security guard at a bar in San Mateo, Rizal.
Yikes.
It happened because the guard had complained that the young man's rendition of My Way was off-key.
See? That's that shit I'm talking about. That's that good karaoke craziness.
When the man refused to stop singing, the guard pulled out a 38 caliber pistol and shot the man dead.
Whoa, dude, that's not guarding security at all.
Well, he did say stop singing.
Yeah, but like, why? Why does he have to stop singing? It's his fucking song. He do whatever he wants.
No, in some places, Jordan, you sing and you should. This is like a professional sport. You should know how to sing or get off the stage. You will not ruin our ears.
Bonkers.
And there's definitely more to it. It becomes slightly more psychotic, but I did want to get briefly to Gloomy Sunday by a Hungarian songwriter, and I'm going to say this wrong, Resho.
Okay.
In the early 1930s, a struggling Cirrus was severely depressed one cloudy Sunday afternoon because his career was dying, since he was largely ignored by the music industry. On top of that, the woman he loved had walked out on him, and so he sat at his piano, lonely and lost in despair. And after noodling at the keys for some time, he stumbled upon the melody that would become his masterpiece, even if it was unwanted. Silmarno Vasarnap, or Gloomy Sunday, became an overnight success, and it is quite good. It's been covered by a shit ton of people, most of whom die.
Yikes.
It was played nonstop after being released. Ceres finally had the fame he'd been chasing for years. Little did he know that the success would lead to the demise of hundreds of others.
Nice.
Suicides began occurring all over the place.
Oh boy.
Corpses were found clutching the song's sheet music.
Dude.
This
real 13 Reasons Why here.
Yeah, this isn't even fucking like it's played on. They're not even listening to the radio. They're playing it in their homes.
Wow, spooky. That's insane.
It's some real. Is this emo?
Yeah,
that's the original emo.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, this is that OG shit.
OE, in fact.
Putting the OG in emo G.
Nice.
Emog.
You should be proud of yourself on that one. Give yourself a Werewolf Radar sticker.
I will eat it later.
Others left behind suicide notes containing lyrics from the song. One body was found with a tune skipping endlessly on a record player. There was even a man who shot himself after complaining that he couldn't get the song out of his head.
Wow. I see. The thing is, like, I don't know the song, and like, I kind of want to listen to it, but like,
tune it up.
I've listened to a bunch of different versions just today, and well,
let's give it some time.
I'll see you next Sunday.
We'll see how it shakes out.
believed to have taken the lives of hundreds of people, it became known as, quote, the Hungarian suicide song.
Yikes.
Gloomy Sunday was first recorded in English by Hal Kemp in 1936, with lyrics by Sam M. Lewis. Lewis's lyrics referred to suicide, while early recordings in the native language focused more on the hopelessness caused by war. The song wasn't played as often after the downpour of deaths, but it came back into the spotlight when Billie Holiday covered the song in 1941.
Sunday, gloomy Sunday.
It's pretty close, actually.
Thanks.
The new version brought about another wave of suicides.
Oh, boy.
It was banned on BBC Radio, among other radio stations. The ban wasn't lifted until 2002.
Scary.
61 years later. Some have speculated that Billie Holiday's tragic final years of her life were partly due to her covering this song and thereby cursing herself.
The SCP Foundation would call this a mimetic threat.
Ooh.
So you may be wondering what happened to the creator of this song. I'm sure you can guess. He too committed suicide.
Oh no, come on.
Someone's got to live.
Oh,
I mean, no one has to live. There's no one lives. Even vampires die.
Vampires have to die.
Yeah, that's when I cock my steak gun.
Yeah.
He did survive jumping out of a window in Budapest, but later in the hospital, choked himself to death with a wire.
Dude.
And the woman who left him and inspired the song also killed herself.
Bro. Wow. That
now, is this just because Eastern Europe sucks?
I mean, I'm sure it didn't
100%. It's because there was just a massive,
war.
Tons of war. They were being taken over by the Soviet Union. Many Hungarians decided to commit suicide rather than be, committed to the battle.
I don't think I will ever be able to think of Hungary without thinking of that Simpsons where Spinal Tap plays and he's like, we're huge in Bulgaria. And what's the other one? The other Hungary.
It's a good way to remember the Garias.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then he goes, I can't think of anyone who's benefited from the fall of communism as much as we have. Well, maybe the people who live in the actual communist countries, but we all bought soccer teams last week. How many Hungarians can say that? Some Hungarians. Anyway, super sad.
Anyway, it's possible that this song was definitely attributed to some of the suicides, some of the hundreds of suicides.
It gave them a what is it called in Elden Ring, a focusing object to really summon that unaliving spell.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then of course it also came back when Billie Holiday did it, and William Holidays. William Hollandaise.
Inventor of Hollandaise.
King of the Eggs Benedict.
Man, go for some Eggs Benny right now.
But yeah, that's some cursed music.
I'm pretty hungry.
Well, you're going to eat soon because I think Nate just wrapped up his segment. Are you going to name it something fancy?
We call it Shroomy Mondays. I don't know.
We are improv experts.
Yes. Tuesday is our model.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Tuesday I'm still shroomed.
I'm gonna put it in this tank of salt water with a little treasure chest that opens and closes.
Nice.
And we're gonna keep this superstitious episode rolling along. because I want to talk to you guys about sailors' superstitions.
Ooh.
Superstitions of the seas.
Now,
You
this is some
can't
real
catch
shit.
syphilis in the south of France.
Yeah, what happens in Barbados stays in Barbados.
Manatee, yes.
Manatee. These are superstitions that pertain to the seafaring life. This could be a sailor, this could be a pirate, this could be, just your brother-in-law who lives in a houseboat and he's making the most of it. He's trying to get back on his feet.
I mean, a good way to get back on your feet, every one of our listeners who does live on a houseboat, is to appease the seas.
Appease the sea gods.
You got to get your sea legs before you can get your earth feet.
Guys, appease the sea. So this is actually just a Wikipedia page. I was looking for some interesting sources on this, and none were more thorough than the Wikipedia page. So we're going to start out with bad luck. These are some things that can bring bad luck at sea. Number 1, red sunrise. You know about the red sunrise, of course.
Just when the sun's long and we have that red versus the yellow.
Red sky in the morning, of course.
Sailors be morning.
This is a rhyme that most sailors are taught that indicates that if there's a red sky in the morning, it's going to be a rough day. The entire rhyme actually goes like this. Red sky at night, sailors delight. Red sky in morning, sailors take warning. It may also say, red sky at morning, sailors take warning. Red sky at night, sailors delight. Red sky at night, sailors delight. Red sky at morn, sailor be warned. That's another way that they say it. It's all pretty much variations on a theme. The part of the reason for this is because there's generally after or before a storm, surrounding a storm, there will be a red sky because the clouds will reflect the sunrise. And generally speaking, if you see it first thing in the morning, it's probably going to rain that day.
Okay. So it signifies a storm, batten down the hatches type affair.
Yeah, could do. The saying actually has some scientific validity. It says, although it assumes storm systems will approach from the west and is therefore generally correct only at mid-latitudes due to the rotation of the earth, prevailing winds travel west to east. If the morning skies are red, it is because the clear skies over the horizon to the east permit the sun to light the undersides of moisture-bearing clouds.
Well, if they wanted scientists on the ship, they wouldn't have hired sailors.
Yes, indeed. And quite honestly, those scientists might be considered what many sailors call a Jonah. You ever heard of a Jonah?
Like the guy inside the whale.
A Jonah is a long-established expression among sailors, meaning a person, either a sailor or a passenger, who's bad luck, based on the biblical prophet Jonah.
Yeah.
Clergymen are considered bad luck as they are all of Jonah's ilk. Redheads and women are also to be avoided as passengers. So, sorry, Reba. Yeah, generally speaking, not good to be either a redhead or a woman in most of the past.
I didn't know. Yeah, that sucks for y'all. And always my condolences as a male brunette.
Yeah.
But I didn't know about the clergy part.
Yeah.
I didn't know. First of all, I didn't know sailors rightfully hate the clergy, but for weird reasons.
For a weird reason. But at the same time, a lot of their kind of superstitions borrow from Christian, shall we say, lore.
It's 100% probably somehow related to Christian superstition.
Yeah. There's a few unlucky days at sea. Friday is considered to be particularly unlucky in some cultures. Perhaps the most enduring sailing superstition is that it is unlucky to set sail on a Friday. You ever heard that one?
It's the Lord's Day.
No, I think that's Sunday.
I don't know.
That's the day that he built the sun.
What I thought I meant it's the Good Friday. You don't want to eat meat either.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Okay.
There's a lot
Okay.
of the Lord's days. I think Wednesday is also a Lord's Day.
They're all
Yeah.
his day, Roger.
Friday is kind of Morrissey's day, and you never want to sail on a goth day.
Everyone is still it's all a goth day. The superstition is not universal. In the 19th century, Admiral William Henry Smythe, writing in his nautical lexicon, the Sailor's Word Book, described Friday as the dies infaustus, on which old seamen were desirous of not getting underway, as ill-omened. Old seamen, huh?
Oh, I think it's because they've been paid and they just would rather go to the pub.
Yeah, it's fucking Friday. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's rum to be had.
After a hard week, I'd also invent a goddamn holiday.
I like that they invent it because it's like dangerous, though. It's not a day to celebrate, it's a day to be weary.
At the bar.
Yes. Sailors are often reluctant to set sail on Candlemas Day. It's Candlemas Day, you ask?
Yeah, I do.
Presentation of Jesus, apparently. It happens 40 days after Christmas in some traditions.
Why?
Yes,
Beats
it's
me.
The candle mass.
Yes.
It's, I think, largely just a Catholic thing.
Yeah.
But it's like approaching Easter and
Yeah.
kind of in that Lent.
Believing
Guess
that
whose
any,
Catholic girlfriend's going to get a lot of questions later?
and of course, a Candlemas present.
Yeah, and a Candlemas present, apparently.
Believing that any voyage begun then will end in
Speaking of
disaster.
goth bands, though,
Is that one? May be related to the superstition to remove all Christmas decorations by Candlemas, a practice done well into Victorian times. There you go. In 18th century New England, rolling clouds and roaring waves were thought as bad omens. So sailing under such conditions is considered inadvisable. I mean, that one is pretty much
No
That one
brainer,
pretty much
right?
is-
Like,
yeah, it's a
obviously, we
no-brainer.
should not go out today.
I love a superstition that's I looked at the thing and I saw it being bad.
This next segment is titled Sirens and Scylla. Sirens were mythological, often dangerous and beautiful creatures portrayed as femme fatales. We know this. We know this to be true. They would lure nearby sailors with their enchanting music and voices to shipwreck on the rocky coast of their island. They were portrayed in both Greek and Roman mythology as sea deities who lured mariners, and in Roman lore were the daughters of Phorcys. Phorcys, that's a new
I don't
one to
know.
me.
Phorcys.
Or sometimes Porcus. Is a primordial sea god cited as the son of Pontus and Gaia. So there you go.
Put that on your god family tree, everyone.
That's who that guy is. Porcus.
Or Porcus.
Yeah. In the Odyssey, the hero Odysseus, wishing to hear the siren's seductive and destructive song, must protect himself and his crew by having his fellow sailors tie him to the mast and then stop their own ears with wax, which is a weird move. He's like, no, I want to hear it.
Wouldn't you?
No
one's
Hey, you guys plug your ears. You're going to hear some weird shit.
No one's ever heard this sound and lived, like this is your chance. I would do it. I would be like, tie me up by my dick. And
yeah,
then
but I mean, what if it's
stuff
like
your ears?
It's kind of like
up on my dick?
It's a cerebral. It's edging for a sailor.
Exactly.
You guys don't listen. Don't look at me. No way. Look at me. It's like the Turkish suicide song. I don't want to hear it. What if it's bad? What if bad shit happens?
It's
It's really good. I was listening to it for a little bit.
It's been covered a lot.
Oh boy, I probably heard it on accident somewhere.
For sure.
Oh boy, I'm boring. Okay.
Anyway, Skyla and Charybdis.
Another mythological creature, the Scylla, is a similar female sea demon that is both dangerous yet beautiful. Sirens supposedly lured mariners to their deaths with melodious enchanting songs, while Scylla sent countless sailors to the depths of the sea. She didn't really do so much kind of luring. It was sort of just you would come across Scylla. Scylla is a horrible legendary monster who lives on the side of a narrow channel in the water opposite her counterpart Charybdis. Two sides of the strait are within an arrow's range of each other. One was a whirlpool, I remember.
Yeah, I think Scylla was the whirlpool, and Charybdis was like a flying thing
like
that
storms.
picked up two of the sailors, maybe 4. Let's give it 5. It's hungry.
Oh, why the hell not?
It was
okay.
good today.
So those are ones that are not less superstitions, but more creatures. We're going to move on to the albatross. The albatross, as a superstitious relic, is referenced in Samuel Taylor Coleridge's well-known poem, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. We know it. We love it. It's friggin' terrifying. Supposedly, Coleridge wrote the entire Rime of the Ancient Mariner after having a dream in like a laudanum days. He like
That sounds right.
He huffed some laudanum and fell asleep and dreamed the entire thing. And it's fucked up. It's a beautiful poem, but it's like, it's crazy.
It's also a Killer Iron Maiden song.
Yeah. It's considered very unlucky to kill an albatross. In Coleridge's poem, the narrator killed the bird and his fellow sailors eventually force him to wear the dead bird around his neck. Next up, bananas.
Wait, what?
At which point, they also all are beset by tragedy, and death takes the entire crew, forces the mariner to live forevermore.
Next up, bananas. Having bananas on a ship, especially a private boat or a fishing yacht, is considered bad luck. The origin of the superstition is unknown. I'm going to guess Big Apple pitched this one around. Next up, whistling. Whistling has a number of sort of contradictory functions on a boat. Whistling is usually considered to be bad luck, with the possible exception of the sources mentioned below. We'll get to that. It is said that to whistle is to challenge the wind itself, and that doing so will bring about a storm. You can call it that.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
like I'd be whistling all the time.
Come at me, storm.
I read someplace that this is the origin of the phrase "whistling up a storm."
Okay,
all right,
which is pretty cool. So next up, ceremonial ship launching. During the christening ceremony for a ship, it is considered bad luck if the bottle swung against the side of the ship fails to break. You know how they do that thing?
Yes, I've heard this one before.
If it doesn't break, it's like, oops, bad ship. Get rid of it.
And I believe on the Titanic, they used like 17 bottles and none of them broke. And they kept saying, like, get me a new. No, I'm making this up.
Oh, okay.
And then they got a new bottle each time.
That's scary.
I have heard that the bottle didn't break on the Titanic.
But they did not get 17 other bottles.
I don't know that they got 17, no.
This next one mentions unlucky numbers. Pretty much most of the ones you would expect in North America and Western Europe, 13 is considered unlucky. A lot of cruise ships are built without a 13th deck, a lot like a hotel situation.
And a lot of cruise ships have a very unsound 14th through every other deck.
Pretty bad scene. Yes, correct. In Italy, 17 is considered the bad luck number.
Okay.
The Linguini number.
Cruise ships operated by MSC Cruises, which is a Swiss global cruise line based in Geneva, lack a deck 17. So there you go. Let's get into good luck.
Yeah, how can I sail the seas with some beneficial skies ahead of me, Jordan?
While in many cultures, a black cat is considered unlucky, British and Irish sailors considered adopting a black ship's cat because it would bring good luck, if you can believe such a thing.
Keep
It's
them
hard.
rats at bay.
Yeah.
Keeping rats and spirits away since 1632.
Something.
A level of care was directed to keep them happy. There's some logic to this belief. Cats hunt rodents. You guys nailed it. Which can damage ropes and stores of grain on board, as well as spread disease among passengers and crew. Research has backed up this superstition. Evidence published in 2017 by a geneticist, the University of Leuven, shows that Egyptian cats spread their mitochondrial DNA through shipping lanes to medieval Northern Europe.
What?
Nice.
Damn.
They're like, we got a long sail ahead of us. Better stop by Egypt, pick up some cats.
Stock up on cats. Yeah. Some sailors believe that polydactyl cats were better at catching pests, possibly connected with the suggestion that the extra digits give a polydactyl cat better balance, which was important at sea. Plus, it's going to have more claws, right? Hanga.
God, that's amazing.
Right? Yeah. Another lucky animal was the cormorant. You guys know what a cormorant is?
No.
Cormorant
I do.
is a sweet bird with a long, crazy neck and a sharp, snatching beak. Cormorants in some Scandinavian areas are considered a good omen. In particular, in Norwegian trading in Norwegian tradition, spirits of those lost at sea come to visit their loved ones disguised as cormorants. It's fun, huh?
That is kind of fun.
A little bit of fun, right?
I like it.
I like it when animals are my dead.
Friends.
No, just any dead.
I see.
And
now
my
we're
dead,
back-
not your dead. The dead that
we're
I've
back.
acquired.
We're back to whistling. Whistling on board a sailing ship is thought to encourage the wind strength to increase. So, which is it? You know,
A storm is strong wind too. Maybe if you whistle too much.
this is regularly alluded to in the Aubrey Maturin books by Patrick O'Brien. What's that? Interesting. Nautical
Jordan's got more
historical
books to
novels.
read.
I would like that for there to be some while looking this up, I was looking for a good like sea fantasy book, and there's a few of them out there, but nothing doing what I want them to do. I want like a fucking, I want a series, man. I want a whole nautical world.
You're looking for the Earthsea Chronicles. You're looking to delve into the world of non-binary magic casting.
Yes.
You want good.
Yeah. Next up is something called the Klabauterman. Ever heard of a
This one sounds
Klabauterman?
familiar, but I think I might be confusing it for something else.
Yeah, this sounds like something that happens to a nerd.
Give him the old Klabauterman.
Yeah.
The Klabauterman traditionally is a type of kobold that lives aboard ships and helps sailors and fishermen. I can't believe we've never heard of the Klabauterman. Seems like he'd be right up our alley.
A
TBA.
good kobold?
Yeah. Well, kobolds aren't necessarily bad guys.
They are the way I attack them.
He is a merry and diligent creature with an expert understanding of most watercraft, an irrepressible musical talent as well. He also rescues sailors washed overboard. The name comes from the Low German verb klabberstern, meaning rumble or make a noise, an etymology deriving the name from the verb kalfetown, to caulk. That's also been suggested because he would go around caulking up holes in the boat, I guess. To
Klabauterman sounds delightful.
Der Klabauterman. Yeah.
Don't believe him. That caulking is going to poison you.
Yeah. A carved Klabautermann image of a small sailor dressed in yellow with a tobacco pipe and a woolen sailor's cap, often carrying a caulking hammer, is attached to the mast as a symbol of good luck. However, despite the positive attributes, there is one omen associated with his presence. No member of a ship blessed by his presence shall ever set eyes on him. He only ever becomes visible to the crew of a doomed ship.
Ooh, scary.
That's right. That's right. That's right. There's also one that isn't necessarily mentioned in here, but I want to get around to it in case they don't. So women on board the ship are bad luck, we know.
Sure.
Naked women, good luck.
So if I get a lady who's down to clown with her balloons all around,
Okay.
we're good.
Yes, that is actually why a number of figureheads on a boat will be kind of a bare-breasted woman pointing the way.
Nice.
Yeah. Patron saints. There's a few patron saints of sailors. Of course, Saint Nicholas calmed a storm by a prayer. Brendan the Navigator is also considered a patron saint of sailors and navigators due to his mythical voyage to St. Brendan's Island. Erasmus of Formier, also known as Saint Elmo, may have become the patron saint of sailors because he is said to have continued preaching even after a thunderbolt struck the ground beside him. Man is unflappable.
He always has fire.
The Mariner's Cross, also referred to as St. Clement's Cross, is worn by many sailors to bring blessings, and it looks like a crucifix but with arrows on it. And sometimes, actually, that's not true. It's look it up. It's hard to describe. It's kind of a curly Q situation.
The name the prince took.
Yeah, a little bit like that. Collar touching. It is often considered lucky to touch the collar of a sailor's suit.
Okay, I didn't know that one. It seems a little bit weird to do all the time on the boat, just touch each other's collars. But I mean, it is a good jumping off point for some good sailor fun later.
And finally,
seems a lot like a little come in.
Finally, mermaids. Mermaids are considered lucky, but not universally. In Trinidad and Tobago, sea-dwelling mermen were known to grant a wish, transform mediocrity into genius, and confer wealth and power. Mermaids appear in British folklore as unlucky omens, both foretelling disaster and provoking it. Several variants of the ballad Sir Patrick Spens depict a mermaid speaking to doomed ships. In some versions, she tells them they will never see land again, and in others, she claims they are near shore, which they are wise enough to know means the same thing. Mermaids can also be a sign of approaching rough weather, and some have been described as monstrous in size, up to 2,000 feet or 610 meters.
That'd be the biggest mermaid I've ever seen.
Sailors would often look for mermaids' purses on the beach for signs of mermaids in the area. You know what a mermaid's purse is?
Well, I don't know. If they're 6,000 feet long, I feel like it's a pretty big Lululemon bag.
A mermaid's purse is what they call shark eggs.
Oh, yeah.
Because they got these weird little hooks that they hook onto like plants and reefs and the sea.
Except for that really big one that just a whole carved out blue whale is the purse.
Yes. Yeah. Well, there you have it. That's some nautical superstitions for you. I hope I helped our seagoing listeners. And, I hope if you're planning on taking to the sea, you keep these things in mind and respect her fickle wishes. Whistling. You got to know when to do it, I guess.
and how to do it right, it sounds like. Strong winds or strong storm.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
that does it for my segment that I'm calling Blister Me Barnacles with Jordan and the salty crew of the good ship Clown Shoe.
Nice. Good name. Good name.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to take the skull now, wrap it around, wrap it with a nice ring, a rope of like garlic and other spices that Sasquatch is known to trade for. And I'm
Have
going to
some
take
bacon
us.
before you put it in the oven.
Bigfoot loves some good rare pork belly. He loves other stuff as well. Loves to write. We're going to go into it. I'm continuing my Sasquatch peoples and their interdimensional connection book sharing. I picked this up on Amazon for a cheap enough affair. And last week, I believe we learned a little bit about the ancient ones, such as
yes.
The ancient ones are a not furry but hairy, like long human-like hair coming out of it. All of them. There's different types.
Hair.
Yeah, there's different types of Bigfoot. All sorts of crazy stuff going on here. The author of this book, I forgot his name. Let's go up to there. Kawani Lopseridis is who wrote this, and he is into Bigfoot anthropology. He's not into it. He's doing the work, everyone. He's out there talking to ancient ones. In fact, an ancient one gave him a note. And I have that right here. Are we ready for a note that in 2004, an ancient one named Halodi gave Kawani?
Yeah, absolutely.
It
Does
says,
say, "Do you like me?" Yes, no, maybe.
The third act's a little wrong.
It says, some say men want to kill us. We are people, not Elohim, not Nephilim, not evil spirit. We are first people, seed of Adam, not Cain. Learn good the old ways. Time is short. Josh or Shosh. The handwriting is questionable. Josh or Shosh come last war. We all will be safe in woods.
Oh, okay. Take to the woods during the last war.
Take to the woods.
That's my plan.
As I said, I'm not going to read all of this word for word nonsense. Not nonsense, but read it to us all.
Nonsense.
How dare you? How dare both of you?
I'm going to continue on with the Sasquatch Whisperers. And just so you know, the ancient ones have been seen throughout civilizations across the world. There's Middle East sightings. You have sightings in Africa. You have sightings. I mean, the Yeti is considered to be an ancient one type people versus a Sasquatch type person.
Yeah.
Or Sasquatch people. Now let's go on to chapter 2, the Sasquatch Whisperers.
Okay, I'm ready.
Now, while most Bigfoot hunters, laymen and academic types are busy looking for tracks, call blasting in an attempt to lure in a Sasquatch and hanging up trail cams in an effort to get photographic evidence, Kawani has been quietly interacting with psychic Sasquatches in forest regions all over North America.
Yeah, that tracks.
Kawani's primary concern in life is gaining knowledge so that they may help others in God's name. That's right. Sasquatch and what we know as God are all connected. As you saw in the note written by, or as you read or heard in the note from Sasquatch, they're all with that Christian, Judeo-Abrahamic, Islamic religion of angels and helpers of God.
Yeah, they're related to Yeshua.
They're related to Yeshua, as we all are, including you,
Sons of man.
sons of man. So the author wants to clarify their role, and please understand, this is their words, please understand that this book is about them, not about me, despite the author making it weirdly about them. My focus is to convey precisely what these nature people want me to say. Without my understanding or wanting the responsibility, the Sasquatch people have asked me to be an intermediary. There we go. A voice for them to express to the outer world their feelings and concerns. This made me uncomfortable at first because the majority of people who believe in Sasquatch wrongly think it's an animal.
Well,
I mean, like humans are animals too. So, yeah. I mean, aliens are animals. If things, once again,
plants
are categorized in animal, mineral, vegetable,
then
Sasquatch is a plant.
It's definitely
Or is it a rock?
I mean, it all makes pretty good sense to me.
Yes. Sasquatch is an animal, but I get what they're saying. It's not like it's a sentient animal that can ask, who am I?
Sasquatch is a rock.
Sasquatch is a rock. All rocks can ask, who am I?
Yes.
Yet these super intelligent beings who are evolved way beyond us, the author believes that Sasquatch, ancient ones, the dog people are all advanced in evolution than humanity. Strongly feel that Canadian and American societies need to raise their spiritual awareness. So the beings have begun contacting certain people in the outer world to share their message concerning our planet.
Got it. Whenever it comes to these beings that are like, you have to do better environment stuff.
Sure.
I'm always like, help. Please help us. We're bad. And we show yourself on like CNN and deliver your message to the children of men.
I asked that same question to, and I can't remember her name, and I'm so sorry, but the Ponte contactee on why you don't just do it.
Why don't they help?
And she responded to me that there's too many of us to help all of us. And I didn't want to be make this hostile interview in any way.
Right,
so I let it slide. But I was all like, but you're here from another society. Surely you have some technology which could, for example, eat the plastic in the ocean and clean that up.
I think even just being like, hey, we're real and this is our message that's some pretty big viral marketing. There's not a person on earth who wouldn't hear about that and probably take it seriously.
Yes.
It'd be like at the end of The Watchmen, we would unite against the alien invasion force to kill them all.
It's very weird also as you
bullshit.
As you might have thought or surmised from the beginning of this. Psychic Sasquatch is one of those things that is also like, along with the contactee of the Punty and various other contactee people or contactees. It's always psychic, and it's nothing something that other people can hear. It's very much a John Smith affair to where like only I can decipher it from looking inside of the hat.
Sure.
Right. And you did have this discussion by speaking.
Oh no, it was all inside of my head. You see, they're psychic.
Okay.
Like that, and
That makes more sense.
100%. We've talked about how alien races would probably move to a more telepathic communication with at least computers and navigation, to where I think moving to the left and the ship moves slightly to the left, which is going to be quicker than me doing it with my hands.
Right.
Or other type of controls. Although there would be haptic controls, I would still be like, I need to move this because the other one, redundancies. We've talked about it. Listen to old episodes.
Listen to Werewolf Radar.
Yeah, listen to Werewolf Radar, okay? So it does make sense, but I'm always, I guess, questioning to be like, why can't other people hear it?
Yeah.
So he's been talking to people inside of his head for quite some time now.
Who you been talking to?
And they are the Sasquatch and Ancient Ones.
Sasquatch.
And in their views, communication is everything. The words of Kawani, the Sasquatch and Star People are synonymous. We've talked about the Star People before. I bought a book describing the Star People. We did not get to the Sasquatch people, but remember the Bisonites?
Yes, of course. How could I forget the Bisonites?
Never forget the Bisonites.
Bee people.
So the Sasquatch and Star People are the same. They are one and the same, just different races working together. They're part of the beneficial Star Nation versus the malignant, malaligned Star Federation.
Yes.
Your Dominion versus your Federation for you Star Wars nerds.
Star Warsagans.
Yeah, for you Star Warsagans. Let's start doing that for a bit. Just making incorrect references to Star Wars and Star Galactica.
Okay.
So their goals are to save our planet from being environmentally destroyed, and 2, find Earth people who are evolved enough to work with them.
We'll do it.
We'll do it. Werewolf Radar will do it. Are you listening?
We'll do it.
Yeah, we're here.
Jordan earlier said that we should be careful talking about what we talk about and the various claims, but I think we're willing to accept this one. Work with Werewolf Radar, Star People.
That's pretty evolved shit to say, huh?
I think it is. I think we internalized our previous actions. We applied those thoughts to a future outcome, and we looked at each other and we said, let's do this.
Yeah.
So come at us, Star People, or else we'll expose you.
Oh, boy.
Is that too much?
Well, and that's the aggression that they fear, you know?
I get so aggressive with the Star People.
It's the aggressive nature of man.
I guess I'm not one of the Star People who are evolved enough to work with them. Perhaps you two will continue on for me. The Star People and Sasquatch feel that it's important to educate the public concerning the greatest evolutionary leap in human history by learning how to live in peace on a violent planet. Capitalistic societies are teaching their people non-spiritual values that produce mental, physical, and cultural decay that has reached a point where our Earth Mother is dying.
Oh, boy.
With an exclamation mark at the end of that sentence.
Ooh,
you know,
I'm not disagreeing with that.
On board with this guy.
Other than the leading people towards non-spiritual values, which I don't truly care that much about, he's right about the capitalistic societies leading to mental and physical and cultural decay and killing Mother Earth. I mean, Earth Mother.
Yes. They get a lot of people confuse those two.
But we get so much XP if we do enter.
We have skipping past a personal encounter with a woman named and actually let's cut halfway between this. So he talks about
is this going to be erotic?
it can be a little bit. So he meets someone named Joyce at in 1998 in Tucson, Arizona, during a business meeting. I can only assume Bigfoot business.
Mm-hmm.
And horrible things kind of afflict Joyce. Like nothing happens to her, but she kind of gets terrorized by an unknown force. She calls Kewaunee one night from an isolated phone booth in the desert near her home. So near her home, but weirdly far away from her home. And this is during the time of cell phones, early cell phones, and she couldn't use it because it was dead, which we know does happen during these weird paranormal encounters. Joyce's voice grows very apprehensive, and she says that two unsavory cowboys were stopping by her house asking if they could help her move in.
So sweet cowboys?
Sweet cowboys.
Well, what's the savory cowboy?
They terrorize her. She has the fear of the worst possibly happening.
Oh, yikes.
And that is kind of what causes her to flee. The cowboys then supposedly drive by while she's on the telephone. And just a bad time all around, basically, for her. And then they, from what I gather, during this call, 3 Sasquatch apparitions appear in front of Kewaunee.
Whoa.
They say to him, I forgot this part, and then when I was skipping through it to the next part, I was like, no, we're saying this part. The Sasquatch people ask him if they want us to help your friend. Just ask us. They telepathed, which is the verb. It's been confirmed and announced. They telepath.
This person's a PhD?
I believe so. So telepath is the right verb. Since I shared with Joyce that I had written a book on Sasquatch to be released that summer, I was blunt with her about my friends wanting to help her right then. And she said, yes. Yes. Do whatever you can.
Take my money, please.
So they understand that he wants them to help. They telepath at him. Don't worry, we'll help.
Mm-hmm.
And then the author warns Joyce that a brightly lit spaceship with ETs might arrive at her place. The author says, don't be afraid because they are my friends. So hanging up, Joyce carefully drives 2 miles to her home. And this is what she reported to me on our next meeting. She pulled into her driveway to unlock the gate, and the light from her headlight shone on a 7 to 7.5 foot tall hairy man who deliberately stepped out from behind the house so she could see him.
Wow.
So not like trying to spook her, but be like, yo, I am here. This is going to be startling no matter what, but here I am.
Mm-hmm.
Then he turned away and walked back again. I don't know if that's making it better.
Classic.
But classic Bigfoot.
Classic BF.
The being was there in his physical body less than 5 minutes after Joyce had left the phone booth. Inside the house, she felt secure because a serene energy from his presence was vibing her. She said she slept wonderfully that night and the most restful sleep she had since moving in the month prior.
Okay.
And I think that might wrap up this true reading of this chapter from the Sasquatch people and their interdimensional connection. Chapter 2, the Sasquatch Whisperers. What do you think about psychic Sasquatch, gentlemen?
I think that,
and based on what I told you, this man sorry, let me cut in. This man, like I said, is a doctor of anthropology and studies Sasquatch.
It seems quite clear that if Sasquatch is
masters of science,
Sasquatch is operating on levels heretofore unknown. So psychic Sasquatch, sure, why not?
Well, Sasquatch or the ancient ones,
or are they one and the same?
No, they're not, because last week,
or maybe they're lying to us.
Can it use a body brush, or does it require some sort of
harness?
Yeah, exactly.
Let me
sexy ass harness.
Hell yeah.
That's one of the classifications of Sasquatch people and ancient ones, but
yes,
there are a number of beings who like to hang around on Earth who are hairy. The first 4 Sasquatch types in just North America, once again, are the Sasquatch people, ape-like with conical heads and arms down to their knees. The ancient ones that look like Sasquatch have very human faces, round heads, and are hairy versus furry.
Okay. Those ones are kind of your Dr. Zaius's.
Yes. The Dr. Zaius, back to the Simpsons. The dog-faced or baboon forest giants with a snout. That's your Dogman, your Beast of Bray Road, perhaps even.
Yeah.
And the orangutan, and this is weird, and we'll go into it. The orangutan faced one.
Yes.
Not ones, one of them. That is in Florida and referred to as the skunk ape.
The skunk ape.
But I'm excited to go into that weird phrasing, the orangutan faced one.
Yes.
And
I think that one is like legitimately a Dr. Zaius.
Folks, that does it for another episode.
Chapter 3 is ET UFO connection, though. Get excited.
Werewolf Radar, but watch out, we're coming back with the ET UFO connection, so catch us next week. Shout out to Chuck from Snappy Little Numbers for our intro and outro song. Follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. Go to werewolfradar.com. Follow us on Twitch. If you really like what we did, you can go and help us with a small financial donation at patreon.com/werewolfradar. We would love that. That would help us continue to do what we love to do, and it would get you an extra episode every week, as well as access to some pretty sweet merch. Is there anything else that we need to pitch?
Werewolfradar.com, link to merch store, our YouTube, hit subscribe, link. I'm trying to
like and subscribe, y'all. Like and subscribe.
Our Discord, that's really where we're most active.
Join the Discord.
Yeah.
We love to hang out there. We're always sharing links of various spooky pics and GIFs and GIFs.
Ha-has and gaming stuff, you know. Watch me post pictures of Elden Ring bosses, which I literally get to a sliver and then it kills me with a one shot.
Infuriating. Boy, I've been there, pal. Until next time. Go ahead.
I have one thing to throw out there.
Ooh, an 8-bit.
This is a handful of months ago, actually, we got a fun shout out on Cemetery Confessions,
Oh yeah,
which is a
shout
fun goth
out back.
podcast from
Shouting
our
right back
pal
out.
Ryan Flint.
Yeah.
So definitely, if you
Check
happen to
them
be
out.
if you happen to be in Colorado Springs, go to the Arbitrarium, where you can find all kinds of weird shit to buy.
Love that.
And listen to his band Witch Hands, and check out Cemetery Confessions. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, and also your paranormal girl, and I think our most importantly, one of our patrons, our council members, Spooky Appalachia, hitting all that Appalachian paranormal folklore.
Absolutely.
That's the end of the pitches. Thank you, other people.
Heck yeah. Until next time, as always, our very public sign-off line. Everything that you heard here today occurred. Please follow along with us on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Punch the sky.
Spaceman Joe.